A great and blessed day to all of us. So another lesson for these video presentations wherein I will going to talk about the school of thoughts of criminology. So this is very significant, no? Especially to the criminology students, no? In the field of criminal justice because this will talk about the history evolutions of the criminology in general. Let me have my pen. Okay. Okay. Because basically there is a lot of school of thoughts of criminology that really contributed and impacted in terms of theories, in terms of belief, in terms of practices, even when we consider the evolution of the corrections in general. So likewise, no, when we talk about school of criminology or school of thoughts of criminology, it influences by several renowned personalities that up until today, they are form part of the history in the world or in the field of criminology. So again, no, the different perspective on the causes, dynamics, and patterns of crime and criminal behavior. So this school of criminology offer a varying explanations and solutions for understanding and addressing the crime based on their unique perspective and assumptions. So because there's a lot of theories again that contributed because of this school of thought of criminology. So in this particular video presentations or lesson presentations, so we really understand, especially those famous or those um, school of criminology that has really impacted and significantly contributed or has a great contributions towards the criminology. So there are a lot, but we will only magnify or highlight at least four. Then the rest will be just you will meet those other school of thought at the same time those theories may be on the higher level of your academic career. So let me proceed. So again, like what I have said earlier, that there are a lot of school of thought of criminology. So these are just some among those, the pre-classical, the classical, neoclassical, and so on and so forth. At the same time, these are the significant theories that even up to this day, really explained the criminological phenomenon, at the same time explained the human behavior, at the same time how it affects the criminal tendencies. So we will only magnify or highlight these four school of thoughts of criminology for the purpose of these discussions, because again there are a lot of school of thoughts, but these four really impacted and contributed to the world of criminology. So basically, after this lesson you will have an in-depth understanding with regards to the school of thoughts of criminology and how it contributed in our field of profession. At the same time, um, you will understand how each school of thought connect with one another. So first and foremost, we have the pre-classical school or pre-classical school. So from the word pre itself, no, free, no, pre, ibig sabihin bago, before, no. So bago mag-classical criminology. So uh, the proponents rather in this school of thought is nothing but Jeremy Bentham. Do not forget this name because it's really attached in terms of understanding or studying the pre-classical school of thought of criminology. So he's considered the founder of the pre-classical school. This school also known as demonological school. existed during the 70th and 80th centuries. So during this time, religion was it's at its peak level. Worshipping and sacrifice were usually the prescribed method in this pre-classical school. No. So there was no existence of scientific explanation. So again, when we talk pre-classical, no, because bago mag-classical, demonological, because their belief or the practice during this pre-classical time is that an individual commit a crime because he was possessed by some evil, by some devil spirits. So that is the logic here. That is the summary of this pre-classical school of thought, that individual kaya nakagawa ng krimen, nakagawa ng masama because of sinapian ng masamang espiritu. So that's the very brief belief or practices way back the pre-classical school of thought. Then next, uh, now let's proceed with the classic, no, old school of thought. So school of thought was propounded in the 80th century by Cesar Beccaria. That is why uh, when during the board exam and the question is who is the father of the classical criminology, you will answer nothing but Cesar Beccaria. He is the father of classical criminology. So he rejected the pre-classical belief or theory, which is according to pre-classical again, that demonological, ang taong nakakagawa ng crime because was sinapian. But he rejected that. And anong gusto niyang mangyari? Anong pinaniniwalaan ni Cesar Beccaria during the classical time? Na ang tao daw nag-commit ng crime because of he has a free will, no? Human free will. So the basis of punishment during the classical school of thought is human free will. We as an individual, we as a human being has our individual free will, no? Human pangit ng pen, pangit ng pen. Wait lang class. Hmm, ayaw na. Human free will, the basis of punishment. Kaya pinaparusahan ng tao during classical theory because they are responsible for the consequences of their actions. So human free will because they have free will, no? Meron silang kalayaan to do things they want to do. And because of that, since they have free will, so they are person who commits crime out of pleasure and pain. So ibig sabihin, ginawa mo yun because gusto mong gawin yun. And because of that, you need to suffer the consequence, pain and pleasure. No? Pag gumawa ka ng labag during the classical time, ginawa mo ang gusto mo, then you have to suffer the pain, the consequence. So that is the theory or the belief and practices during the classical time as propounded by Cesar Beccaria, the father of classical criminology. So next, so sabi din dito, the belief that the punishment should be directly proportional to the intensity of crime. Yan, crime. This school completely focus on crime, no? So, kumbaga dito during the classical theory, no? So, regardless of who you are, so long as you are a human being, depende sa crime na nagawa mo. Ang focus niya is crime. Crime ang focus niya. Regardless who you are, no? The focus is crime. Nasira na ata ito. Yeah. The focus is crime. Kahit sino ka pa, depende sa crime na nagawa mo. So, school ignored the difference between the first offender, habitual offender, which later become the reason of its criticism. So, kumbaga, wala siyang pakialam kung ano yung participations mo towards the crime commission. So long as kahit sino ka pa, meron kang ginawang crime, then you have to be held liable. Yeah. Kahit sino ka pa. So next is neoclassical. So 'di ba na-critic na siya. Sabi naman ng neoclassical, which is considered founder is Gabriel Tarde, no? Kanina si Cesar Beccaria. Ngayon sa classical, neoclassical is Gabriel Tarde. So again, when we talk neoclassical, after the classical, neoclassical. So this school of thought developed in the classical school of criminology. It is also known as the upgraded version of classical. Paano siya naging upgraded version? 'Di ba? Yung sa kanina, the focus is crime regardless of who you are. So dito, understanding the facts. Yan. And circumstances. Yan. Facts and circumstances of the case and the mental state of the offender. Pangit ng pen ko. Okay. So kumbaga dito, sabi ni Gabriel Tarde as an upgraded versions of the classical, no? If the classical school of thought focus on the crime, here the focus is facts and circumstances at the same time person or the offender. So, kumbaga dito na yung mga circumstances lumabas, dito na nag-exist yung mga justifying circumstances, mitigating circumstances, aggravating circumstances, and so on and so forth because of this neoclassical. Because again, during the classical, walang pakialam kung sino ka. So long as what was the crime committed, it is proportionate to give you that punishment. Well, on this case, so kumbaga, how about the children? The lunatics, they cannot calculate pain and pleasure. So, di ba? Paano pag bata, no? So, same ba yung punishment sa mga adult? Paano yung mga lunatics, yung mga balyo? So, hindi naman nila alam yung tama't mali at di nila nakakalculate yung pain and pleasure na sinasabi ni Cesar Beccaria sa kanyang classical criminology or classical thought. So kaya ni-reject yun ng neoclassical at pinasok yung mga circumstances at the same time focus on the offender. Sino ba yung offender and what are the circumstances surrounding the crime commission? So next, so pre-classical, again, okay na. Because naulit lang to, pre-classical, demonological, no? Sinapian, no? When a person commit a crime, the sense of understanding is influenced by the evil powers. Yan, sinasapian daw. So again, the neoclassical put forth the prisoner will now be deterred from further crime because of the harsh and restrictive punishment they face as a result. So nandito din yung principle na deterrence, no? Deterrence. Nang sinasabi dito, yan. Halimbawa, nag-commit ka ng crime, nakulong ka ng 5 years, nakulong ka with harsh punishment, then next time, pag uulitin mo pa siya, mas malala na. Kaya mga first offender, second offender, yon. So, the more na uulit ka pa, mas malala na yung punishment na ibibigay sa'yo. Para at least matuto ka. So, yun yung purpose ng neoclassical in terms of giving punishment na as a result is pag makita mong mahirap, then uulitin mo pa, mas mahirap na siya. Kaya di ba may mga first offense, second offense, so ganun. Doon yan, dito nagmula yan sa principle or concept of the neoclassical. So according to the neoclassical school, punishment should be given as per category of the offender, which means that the mental capacity of an individual. So again, how about mga value, di ba? So yan. So kinoconsider yan ng neoclassical. While during the classical school, walang pakialam kahit sino ka pa so long as nag-commit ka ng crime. So everything must be proportioned. So later on, it was also criticized. It specifically focused on providing punishment, 'di ba? Yung deterrence nila. focus niya ay punishment. Sa classical, the focus is crime. Dito naman, the focus is punishment to the offender and did not focus on the reformation of the offender. So yan. Then during this neoclassical, the focus is punishment rather than reformation. Because of that, it was criticized. So ngayon, here comes the positivist school of thought or Italian school of thought. So positive in terms of positive yung pananaw nila, positibo yung pananaw nila towards the offender, no? Positibo yung pananaw nila um um in terms of punishment towards the offender because they have to rehabilitate, they have to reform, no? Positibo. This is the modern concept of criminology, at the same time the modern concept of giving punishment towards the offender. So as we can see, there are three um, major individuals in terms of this Italian school or the positivist school, the Cesar Lombroso, Enrico Ferri, and Rafael Gavarropalo. But in case of the board exam, the father of modern criminology is, ang isasagot no is Cesar Lombroso. Father of classical criminology is Cesar Beccaria. So yan. Pag meron pa yan, father of American criminology is Edwin Sutherland. So really, hindi lang isa. You have to be aware, at the same time careful when there are questions about this, who are the father of this and that, because it really matter. At the same time, they are distinct from one another. So Cesar Lombroso is considered as the father of modern criminology or the father of positivist or Italian school of criminology, Cesar Lombroso. So again, what they rejected is the free will. Kagaya ng sinasabi ng classical, human free will, pain and pleasure. At the same time, nireject din nila yung concept ng neoclassical na focus lang sa punishment because again, their focus is reform and rehab. Positibo yung outlook nila na dapat i-rehab daw at i-reform yung mga offenders because they are sick individuals. Sabi ng positive school of thought that offenders, criminals are sick individuals. So since they are sick, they should not be punished but rather they should be treated. So sila daw ay may mga sakit and because of that, wag silang parusahan bagkus sila ay gamutin. Kasi nga ang mga kriminal daw ay may sakit. That is why adapted even up to this day, no? As we can see the evolution, no, of the correction world ngayon, 'di ba? In this age of technology, in this new era, pinapakain sila ng maayos, binabantayan, restore yung lahat ng kanilang human rights, bawal silang abusuhin because the outlook is to reform and rehab. Mas na-upgrade na talaga, mas updated, mas humanistic ang approach in our generation. But again, the modern criminology really influence the present outlook or the present perception towards the treatment of the offenders or of the criminals, even up to this day. So, according to Lombroso, yan, Lombroso, eto kanyang mga contributions, no? The person commit a crime because of being a born criminal. Pinanganak na talaga ang criminal. No, that is Lombroso's theory. They theory focus on the biological characteristics. Yan, biological. Ibig sabihin, inherent. No? Nasa kanyang dugo na yan. Nasa dugo na nila. No? Nasa lahi na nila of the crime commissions. Kumbaga dito, kung ano yung puno, siya din yung sorry. Kung ano yung puno, siya din yung yan. Kung ano yung puno, siya din yung bunga because biological, no? Ang mga cause. It also believed that the criminals are less sensitive. According to school, the criminals were divided into three categories. Ito yung tatlong categories. The born criminal, pinanganak ng criminal. The insane criminal, yung mga balyo. Alam na natin yan. Pag balyo, criminal daw kaagad yan. Because of they cannot understand the circumstances of their actions, no? So likewise, the criminaloids. According to Lombroso, uh, the criminals that have more an inferiority complex of biological structure, no? Project good outside but concealed criminal personality. So kumbaga sinasabi ni Lombroso, may mga tao daw na okay yung panlabas na kaanyuan nila, okay sila in terms of their physical outlook, but within themselves, no? With their inner personality, they are criminal mind, no? They have attempt to commit crime, or their personality, in their inner personality is masamang tao sila. So the very good example dito is yung mga, hindi naman lahat, pero yung mga politiko, no? 'Di ba? With their barongs, no? With their Americanas, but mga magnanakaw sila. Yan. That is an example of criminaloids. Good outside but in their own, no? Within their personality, within themselves, they are committing crime. So that they are criminaloids. According to Lombroso, ha? Hindi ako ang may sabi niyan. According yan kay Tata Lombroso. So next, what about Enrico Ferri? So Enrico Ferri challenged the Lombroso's theory, 'di ba? Kay Lombroso more on physical. Then according to Ferri naman, no? How about yung emotional? Siya ang nag-propose ng mga emotional theory. Yung mga social factors, geographical, no, are also responsible for an individual to commit crime. So kumbaga, kung si Lombroso is physical, mga born criminal, biological, no, criminaloids, sa kanya is more on the surroundings, the circumstances of the criminal, of the individual. So likewise, occasional criminal. So ito yung mga sample na occasional criminal, ibig sabihin nito, ito yung mga nagko-commit ng crime occasionally, no? Halimbawa, yung may mga pangangailangan, no? Mga because they need to survive. So that is why they really need to commit a crime. But in our modern context, no, occasional criminal is these are the crime committed within specific time. Halimbawa, pag may mga piyesta, no? So maraming tao. So yung mga snatchers, they have a great opportunity to commit snatching, to commit theft, no? So yan ay the very good example of occasional criminal. They are criminals specifically in specific time and circumstances. So halimbawa, yung mga tax evaders, no? So specifically, nako-commit lang nila yung crime during the time of um, pagpa-file ng tax. Di sila nagpa-file o di kaya binabawasan nila o di kaya dinadaya nila yung kanilang pagkukumit ng crime. So they are occasional criminal. Halimbawa ngayon, mga tumatakbong politika, no? Politiko. Yan. There are a lot of promises, no? Lying and so on and so forth just to win the heart of the populace, but they are considered as occasional criminal. Next, passionate criminal. Sabi naman ni Lombroso yung because of this intense, no, this passion, no. Binubuli mo siya, punong-puno na siya, and because of that, you invoke him to become a criminal. So siyempre na punong-puno na siya, he's he is mock you, no? O di kaya he hit you, he backs you because basically punong-puno na siya. Kung hindi mo siya binuli, no, hindi ka niya masasaktan. So that is considered passionate because emotional factor. Then insane criminal like Lombroso because insane, then habitual criminal, no? Again, from the word self, paulit-ulit na lang. Habitual committing a crime because of this is according to Perry. Kasi nga paulit-ulit because of the challenges, walang makain araw-araw. So gagawin niya 'yun to be able to survive in his daily living condition. Then next, according naman kay Garoppalo, ni-reject na yung above two theories. Rejected. Sabi niya, ang criminal are four categories, no. Ito yung sa kanya. Endemic criminal, ibig sabihin ito yung mga criminal na gumagawa ng murder. So simple lang. Pag gumagawa ng murder, mga murderers, endemic criminals ang tawag sa kanila. Pag yung mga hot-tempered, maiinitin ng ulo, ang tawag niya is violent criminals. Simple, categorize kaagad, no? Then, pag criminals lacking in sentiment of probity, ito daw yung mga wala ng pakiramdam, no? Yung mga wala ng emosyon, yung mga gumagawa ng genocide, mga massacre, mga apartheid, no? They are criminals lacking of in sentiment of probity. Wala na silang pakialam sa mga kapaligiran nila, no? Manhid, kumbaga. But in the worst case, because of grabe sila magparusa or grabe sila magnakaw. Ang ninanakawan pa nila yung mga mahihirap. Sila okay na sila pero magnanakaw pa rin sila. So mga wala lang pakiramdam. Then of course, lustful criminal. So from the word itself, lustful means those criminals who commit rape, no? Yung mga nagko-commit ng rape. So these are our topic, no? So as far as the as far as we have highlighted the four major school of thought of criminology. But again, like what I have said, there are a lot of school of criminology that really impacted the field of criminology. But these four are very significant, especially to the criminology student. That is why you should not forget it. Even the moment you take your board examinations, even the moment you are in the uniform services, or especially during the time that you are pursuing your highest educational career, you will again meet this um, school of thoughts. But of course, other school of thoughts will be tackled, no, during the moment you have your master's degree or PhD. But and of course, you will also come up and understand in depthly those topics, no, those other school of thoughts and other theories that has significant contributions towards the field of criminology. So again, hopefully this lesson would give you an in-depth idea and knowledge, at the same time a good perception in terms of evolution of the correction administration and in general the correction field. So I will conclude my video presentations in this because we have reached the bottom of this um, presentation. So once again, good luck and hopefully you have a great day ahead.